Transform your life. Become emotionally strong and slay your challenges. Understanding triggers. We all have triggers in our life, and those triggers tend to come from past experiences. Think of a bad relationship you were in and how that partner was. Or maybe you had a business situation where you had a corrupt partner, right? Those can be triggers as we move forward, right? We get into a new relationship and we're triggered by that old experience, and it hampers the ability to have an effective relationship. Or the same thing with the business example. But the key is triggers are real, but they are something that we cannot let define us or help us or change the way we make a decision when we're trying to achieve amazing success and accomplish our goals. But with triggers, it's important to learn from them, to learn from that experience. So it's important to recognize and understand it, but not let it affect our decisions as we move forward. Because the impact of past experiences on our lives is strong and it's real and it's there. But it's one of those things, again, that we have to take into consideration that it was a one-time experience that we will learn lessons from, but not let it affect us moving forward, because it can really, again, hamper our progress. And with triggers comes this thing that everybody has experienced at some point, and that's called anxiety. We have this trigger, it triggers anxiety, emotion takes over. We have these physiological responses, which are, by the way, very real, all the things we feel when we have anxiety. But what we have to understand is that is just something, a trigger causes it, and we don't let that affect our emotions or minimize our discipline and lead us to bad decision making. We understand that anxiety is a real thing and we learn from it. We understand that it doesn't need to dictate how we make decisions and how we move forward. Because success involves analyzing emotions and placing them in the right context as we move forward. The power of words. Words are more powerful than most people realize. And one thing that Sourena always teaches you is the words that you choose can have a huge impact on whether or not you achieve amazing success or you fall flat on your face. Take, for example, the word problem versus challenge. When we use the word problem, it triggers things in our brain that say, impossible, stop, we can't get through this. But when you use the word challenge, who doesn't love a good challenge? Challenge, it's like a puzzle. You've got to figure it out. It's something that's solvable. A problem is a stop sign. A challenge is something that we attack and we go after. It's just something that we've got to work our way through and deal with in order to accomplish our goals and achieve amazing success. So it's pretty crazy, but words are super powerful. So one thing to consider right away is what words are we using in certain situations and how does that affect our mindset? Do we use the right word that drives us forward, or are we using a word that stops us in our tracks or actually moves us backwards? Just like problem, not a great word to use in your mindset, versus challenge, which is the word you need to use if you want to accomplish your goals. But here's the flip side to that. How about the word easy? Sourena doesn't like the word easy either, because when things become easy, what does that mean? Well, it means we've got this, no problem. We don't need to grow. We don't need to push harder. We don't need to think bigger. Easy leads to complacency. Like problem leads to stopping us in our tracks. Easy makes us more complacent, and therefore we don't necessarily put the energy or the growth or the effort into what we need to actually do to achieve success. We need to embrace effort. And when we avoid the easy routine, that helps us embrace that effort to go forward. Now, in regards to Sourena and his disability, he could respond to his disability in two different ways. This is a problem. And nobody would have been mad. He would have just been a person living an average life, confined to a wheelchair, and somebody with cerebral palsy. That's it. Nobody would have ever been mad. However, he would not have achieved the amazing success and accomplished the incredible goals that he has. So Sourena simply doesn't see his handicap as a problem. He just sees it as a challenge. And by the way, not inherently good or bad. Now, don't take that the wrong way. If you ask Sourena what it's like to have cerebral palsy, he would tell you that it sucks. But when he looks at the challenge of cerebral palsy, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just a challenge. We all have challenges. They come in different sizes, shapes, and forms, and they evolve and they change, and there are new ones. But it's just neutral. It's just a challenge, no emotion behind it. And Sourena has found ways to deal with that challenge, again, to just do absolutely amazing things. And that's what he wants for you as well, right? You've got to figure out what are my challenges and how do I deal with that? And a lot of that comes down to that emotional discipline. When we've got the emotional discipline to not let the anxiety, not let the triggers take over and tell us things are impossible or there's a big problem and woe is me and life is so difficult and life is so hard. It's just, yes, this stinks and I wish it weren't happening, but I'm going to be neutral about it because I just got to figure out if I want to hit that long-term goal, keep my eye on the prize. These are things that I really have to just deal with. And it comes down to something that Sourena will share, Harvey Specter's wisdom. His perspective are, there are ways to deal with challenges. Calling something hard or a problem limits your solutions. But when it's a challenge, the whole world of solutions is open to you. It's just a matter of, again, having the discipline, the emotional discipline, and sticking to something and making sure you see it through and figuring out the way to deal with that challenges. Because emotions, although they can try, should not control the brain. Right? That's that emotional discipline, not letting your emotions control your decision making. So reframing problems to challenges opens up paths to success. The other thing in this regard is you want to avoid those emotional stop signs, right? Again, get rid of terms like hard, get rid of terms like problem, get rid of these self-imposed limitations, right? Get rid of the word impossible and focus on challenge and possibilities. Because again, back to the power of words, just that simple shift is going to help you be more productive, more effective, happier, and on the way to accomplishing goals. It's incredible. It's almost hard to believe how much power can be in those words. And when you're doing that, you'll start to notice more opportunities for improvement. The world seems to open up, right? And again, going back to that flip side of easy, that just leads us to routine, right? Easy means we're not dealing with challenges because we're not letting challenges occur. Because challenges occur when we're trying to make change, we're trying to accomplish goals, we're trying to drive forward. That's when more challenges come up, and that's when we've got to deal with those challenges, right? Easy puts us in status quo, makes us average. And doing that is not going to take us to amazing success. So all of this being said, the power of words and making sure that we see things as challenges, not problems, and that we don't look at things as easy because that limits our growth. It limits our desire to take things to the next level. All of that boils down to emotional discipline, right? We've got to have the emotional discipline to choose the right words, to keep things neutral, to avoid the easy, to avoid the comfort of status quo. That's not going to help us be successful. So never forget the impact of the power of words. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, and I'm sure that you did, make sure you like it, share it, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel.